Okay, so in this video, I'm going to give you a couple of simple tips on how to improve your borrowing capacity. As I do this video right now, the property market is going absolutely nuts. Prices are going through the roof on properties. We're talking auctions selling, hundreds of $1,000s more or higher than the reserve, and it's just crazy. It's definitely more owner-occupiers changing the market right now, and it's very much driven by the lack of supply, as well as the very low interest rates. So how do we stretch and improve our borrowing capacity? Because the truth is, even in this market with everything going nuts, lending is probably some of the hardest that it has ever been. Like, we thought it was hard when APRA cracked down a couple of years ago and cracked down on the finance industry, trying to restrict investors. And right now we're facing predominantly owner-occupiers, and it's really hard for a lot of people to get finance, or it's just taking extremely long. So I know many people that are very frustrated at the moment in how long it's taking to get their finance approved, and they feel that they're missing out, and they feel that the market's escaping them. So what are a few things that we can do? Well, first of all, what you need to know is predominantly now lenders will look at your last 3 months history. They'll look between 3 to 6 months, sometimes more, okay? And they right now are taking the liberties and being really strict and creating criteria that some of us people in the finance industry had never had to face before. But it's just the way it is, and a lot of the time it's easier to give them what they want than it is to argue with them. So here's what you need to do. If you are looking to apply for finance, you would need to practice a strict regime for the minimum of the next 3 months before you actually do your application, because they will look at your minimum 3 months history, okay? And one of the things I would suggest is get rid of any and all subscriptions that are not needed, or pay for them up front, either by card as a once-off or in cash, because what lenders will do is they will look at any regular occurring expenses. Now, even if these expenses are discretionary, i.e. you can cancel them at any time, what we're dealing with are human beings at the end of the day who are assessing your capacity to borrow. Now, it is very hard to get the message across to them that you are willing to cancel your magazine subscription or your gym membership if it allows you to borrow X amount more. Yeah. So we don't have control over the way they're thinking, and it's harder and harder for people to work with the actual assessors these days who are making these decisions to help them see light. And I'm not even going to pretend that a lot of them are actually thinking straight, to be honest. Yeah. Some are, let's face it. Yeah. So it's easier to paint the picture for them as easy as possible. So get rid of any subscriptions, any ongoing repayments that are not completely necessary. And if you really must have them, yeah, pay for 3 to 6 months in advance as a one-off, and then that's it. And then build up your history of not having had all these subscriptions on your bank accounts for the next 3 to 6 months, okay, before you apply for finance. The second tip I will give you is that for any other discretionary spending that you might have, i.e. going out for lunches, dinners, etc., take cash out. Yeah, take cash out for yourself and limit your spending to whatever that cash is for the month. Yeah, for the month or for however long. Even you might even take out cash and put it under your bed for the next 3 months. I know it sounds crazy, but it is absolutely what's going on at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that some of you out there can't afford to just get finance. I'm just saying it is tough. And if you're trying to extend your capacity to do these kind of things, for things like if you're just trying to buy clothes, food, etc., take some cash out, yeah, and use cash to buy that. And that will be completely discretionary, because then they're not looking at the pattern of how often you're taking direct debits out, or how often you're using your credit card to go shopping online, etc. The next thing that I will say is, if you are intending to go to the pub, for example, if you go to the pub on a regular basis, definitely use cash where possible. Take the cash out of your bank account, because we have actually experienced lenders, and whether they admit to it or not, there is some biases out there. If they see that you're regularly going to the pub or regularly going to the TAB, they could use this as an ongoing expense for you because they might see it as a pattern of behavior. Now, whether that is true or not, that's your business. Yeah, and you need to be responsible for yourself in that. But these are definitely little things that you can do to widely help your borrowing capacity. So I hope that helps. I'll give you more tips as more of the videos come on.